Well, hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. We are literally so close to 100,000 subscribers. I need that plaque, man. I gotta get that plaque. I've been aiming for it. It's such a big accomplishment for a YouTube channel. So please, headcup, please just subscribe. I've always been told by men that are much older, wiser, just better people, that the two purchases that cause a man the most trouble, besides a wife, love you, hon, the two most stressful, constantly breaking down purchases a man can make is one, a house, and two, a boat. So I decided to do it all in one. 6 months ago, I got this idea. I just got the Facebook Marketplace bug. I started looking through every used houseboat in the entire surface area of the United States. So the more research I did on houseboats, it was really hard to find one that you could trailer and move without having to pay like thousands of dollars every time you moved it from one body of water to the next. The maximum legal width of a trailer behind a truck for somebody with no specific permits or license or anything is 8 foot. A normal bass boat is 8 foot wide. I thought that the whole idea was ruined. But then I came across this sucker right here, a sea camper. It basically looks like if you took the whole of a ski boat, a 24-foot ski boat, and took the top half of a camper and just smushed them together. I found a 1970s model sea camper resting in Virginia, which is kind of a problem because I'm currently in Georgia and I have a 2-wheel drive truck. I've been stuck in my front yard before. My front yard's grass. My dad happens to have a massive dually, diesel dually, the perfect truck for the job, so I gave him a call and we headed to Virginia. It is the morning of, folks. The morning of. I get to see it for the first time. 20, 30 minutes, we get to see the boat.
Everything you've done in your life is coming. Oh, I see boats.
Oh my gosh, that is a sea of boats. So he said it's in the back with the other trash boats. It looks so funny. How in the world are we gonna jack that up? When you bought it, how was it? Just sitting on a trailer?
Yeah, it was sitting on this trailer. It's been sitting on this trailer for a long time.
I just worry about that busting.
It ain't going nowhere, but, you know, the famous last words, I guess if you get in a wreck, it'll come off.
And so the trailer lights,
No trailer lights.
there's no plug.
You think it's worth it?
I think it's going to cost a fortune to redo it.
How much?
I mean, any boat, the motor is the money. And so if the engine, if you got to repower this thing, it's going to cost a lot.
So we have kind of come to the side and we're talking. The trailer does not look good. It's rusted. What's holding the boat on does not look good. It wouldn't be a problem, but we're in Virginia and we live in South Georgia. It's a long haul with a boat of this stature. We don't want to be too loud. We're still strategizing, thinking. Last time it's touched water is 93. It's just so hard because it's right there, you know? And I know that would be an unbelievable project. I just don't know if it's worth $2,500.
The one little cable holding that on the boat has been sitting out, you know, for 28 years in the elements and rusting, and anything could make it pop. I mean, anything, any little squirrely
So
thing.
it's been on that trailer since 1993.
Yeah. And if we have to hit the brakes hard or we have to do anything, and that thing shifts, the only thing holding it on that trailer is that old rusty cable.
Sucks, man. We came a long way, but I do hear what you're saying.
I think it's important to avoid the big mistake, and I think this would be
The big one.
yeah. I think it would be cost you so much money, and the motor is.
Major party foul, Phil. I learned a very valuable lesson from you, Phil. You dirty dog. If you're ever gonna buy anything off Facebook Marketplace and you call them and they sound desperate, that is a red flag that I will never overlook again. Phil. He told me a few things on the phone. Number one, his wife didn't know he had the boat. I've never talked to the man. He asked me to stay overnight at his house, which I couldn't blame him. The thing that bothers me the most about Phil is he told me the motor was good. He told me the trailer was in good condition. And when we got there after 8 hours, 6 months of research, finally finding a boat, I just missed all the red flags. I missed that he was desperate. I missed that some of the pictures of the boat were taken from 30 foot back. And after my dad talked some sense into me, and I look back at the footage, that motor was nowhere near repairable. Completely rusted, pipes were burst, terrible condition. He completely lied to me, told me the motor was fine, and it was completely toasted. So we decided to come home empty-handed, and it sucked. It sucked bad. So at this point, the unthinkable happens. Before I left for Virginia, about a month before, I put an offer in on a boat on Facebook Marketplace in Eufaula, Alabama. Very, very close to where Lojo lives. Within 2 days of being listed, the boat had been sold, was moved, gone. The boat looked so epic, so unique, so different than anything I'd ever seen. I messaged the lady or the man that sold the boat, and I was like, hey, look, I want that boat so bad. Have you sold it yet? Is it gone? Because I'll pay you $500 more right now. They responded with the name of the man who purchased the boat. So I message him a direct message on Facebook Marketplace, and I say, look, man, if you haven't touched the boat, you haven't done any work, I'll give you $500 right now. You can make $500 if you give me that boat. On the way home from Virginia, a month later, the man responds and says he's willing to sell me the boat. Lojo let me borrow his truck, and I headed down to South Alabama to check out boat number 2. Today is the day. I can feel it. I've talked to the owner. Don't think I'm gonna get scammed. That is the most cash I've ever held in my hand, legally. Next stop, houseboat.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah.
Do you live close to a little set of 3 barns?
I got where are you at now?
That is epic, dude. That is so cool. Here goes nothing. I don't know if I just made the biggest mistake of my life or the best decision. In 2 hours, we'll know. Had no idea that every gas station in Alabama closes by 9 p.m. I pulled in 5 gas stations, all of which were closed. None had working pumps, and I was 7 miles to the next gas station. This video is just going phenomenal. Just spent last night in my little... Already put all my bags back in the back seat, but spent last night in my back seat. Really had big man, tiny coat type vibes going. Have about 50 mosquito bites. I'm hoping that's what they are. I've called pretty much every towing company in the state, every body shop. Heck, I started calling gas stations, dude. Downloaded Uber. The only man that would answer my phone call was,
how was your night, buddy? Dude, you should have called me, man.
Really?
Well, I don't know if I would have waken
it was
up.
late, man. It was
but
like 3 your time or whatever.
You sound like you spent the night in a houseboat, not on the water. That's
Yeah.
what you sound like. I also love your wood block strat here.
Yeah.
The log block strat. I don't know if you showed your folks that, but I'm loving it. I'm also loving this duct tape light right here.
Dude,
Oh, the whole thing's duct taped up.
yeah, I haven't revealed anything, but that's
Oh,
a good.
sorry. Well,
No.
And now I just want to, I mean, maybe off camera you can give me a tour,
Yeah,
but
dude, let me show
I
you.
gotta, now that I'm here in full daylight, I gotta see this thing that you have gone through.
I've gone
Just
through a lot.
with boats in general, like restoration project boats, in the last month, you have broken your back on these projects, dude. Oh my God.
Well,
Yeah, I got the freaking goods, man.
all right.
to do videos like this, you just gotta be a stubborn son of a gun, man. You gotta be ready to dodge a freaking dirty Phil in Virginia. You gotta be ready to sleep in the back of a 03 stepside. Nobody likes stepsides. After 6 months of research, keeping this secret from you guys, and finally succeeding in getting this boat home, I am now the proud owner of the Itty Bitty. This vessel is a 23-foot stewery. I believe these vessels were discontinued in the 1980s. There's only a few of these type boats for sale in the United States today. We've genuinely stumbled upon a hidden gem in South Alabama. I think this boat could be one of the coolest investments I've ever made. I feel like if I had to buy a boat that perfectly represented me, it'd be that. Kind of awkwardly built, little unproportional, but gets the job done. Now the real win in this boat is I talked to the guy who bought it and he showed me the motor. The motor looks completely leaps and bounds better than the first motor we looked at. Unlike the previous boat, the Sea Camper, this stewery has a full-on car motor inside. I believe, fingers crossed, we're not gonna try in this video, but there could be a chance that we don't have to buy a completely new motor and start from scratch in the rear, which is honestly my biggest hope for this boat, because that's gonna be the most pricey thing we do, and I would love to take the money that we would have to spend on a new motor and put it towards just making like the most stupid upgrades to this boat. Before we do anything else with the boat, before we start restoring, remodeling, and bringing this thing back to life, we need to hop in here and show you guys the current state. Now, the thing that really stuck out to me about this boat compared to the Sea Camper, the Sea Camper was last registered in 1993, whereas this boat was last running in 2011. That's almost a 20-year difference in seeing water and being out and running, which gives me so much more hope for the old Itty Bitty. Clearance on the front deck is it's pretty tight. So before you enter into the cabin, you had this cool little front deck area where you can fish, mount some chairs. If it's raining and you're not able to do anything, this is a perfect area to come hang out and chill. Also, on the very front of the boat, we have a Minn Kota electric anchor, which is wired to the captain's chair, so you can drop the anchor from inside. We have 2 little lights. I'm definitely gonna replace these. Might just run some LED lights across the entire front. Just have this thing freaking shining. I like how we have this outward bend for aerodynamics, just to cut through the air. Pretty sweet. And now for the part that I'm ready to show you. The interior of the Itty Bitty. Oh. There's no telling what critters and snakes and spiders are in here right now. We actually have a lot to dive into in here. First off, soon as you come in, the captain's chair I freaking love the little steering wheel. There's little bits of the boat that we're gonna make sure to leave in here as we restore and bring it back. Might not leave in the current wiring system. I don't know how old this Hummingbird system is, but it says range, speed, temperature, depth, whatever it is. It's probably one of the first Hummingbirds ever made, but if it gets the job done, it gets the freaking job done. There's so many different gauges and levers and so many things. I have no idea what they all do. The previous owner did nothing to get this thing ready to sell. There's like miscellaneous kitchen knife, sunglasses, heaps of trash throughout the boat, and a fire paint job. That thing is, wow. The floor is so loose. It feels like you could go through at any moment. So moving on from the captain's chair, my favorite place in here, we got the old mini fridge. If we can get this thing, there's milk in there. There's a gallon of milk. I think it's water. I think it's water. Unlike most smaller houseboats or drift boats, the cabin area has a ton of windows. It doesn't feel like you're like locked down in this little chamber and there's no air and it's like a claustrophobic feeling like most small 24, 25 foot cabin boats do. The only problem that you get when you have a bunch of windows, especially in a boat, water will find a way to leak through these windows. It looks like an old air conditioner too might be leading to a little bit of rain damage around the seal. All this water damage is directly associated with whatever's coming through this window. Water has fallen in the base of the boat, and the boat is parked to where the water will run out the back and flow out of the plug. We have water damage in the dining room, the kitchen. It gets really, really dicey in this back corner. If I put all my weight on here, I could go straight through. The back steps are kind of falling in. They are completely toast. If I were to put any pressure on those steps, I'd be chilling with the motor. So unfortunately, that means we're gonna have to gut pretty much the entire boat. And also in the back of the cabin, where the bed, the kitchen, the dining room table, clearance could be an issue. So directly across from the captain's chair is a little slide out mattress. This has 1970s Baptist church pew written all over it. So the kitchen area is actually pretty cool. We have a small sink right here, a stovetop, an oven, and then there's a place to put a propane tank right here or on the front deck. And at the front of the kitchen, we have a little microwave sitting on a little metal shelf and then held in place by a little elastic band. You gotta love the South Alabama ingenuity. So the number one thing that I was scared about using the stovetop and the oven, I didn't want to blacken fish in an area this small because the smell would be so thick and it would just stay in here forever. The really cool thing that they did with this boat was put a little fan in that sucks all that thick smell, especially when you're doing catch and cooks, and spits it outside of the boat so you don't have to have that thick smell in your face the whole night as you're trying to sleep. We have a handful of drawers, cabinets, other storage areas. That can't stay. It's an eyesore. It just clashes with that mint paint job. Now this little dining room area is also a place to sleep. This table has a leg that folds down, sits there. These cushions come out. So you could have a bed up here and a bed right here if we're traveling with multiple people. I got to do some serious thinking of how we're going to use the space in here to fully maximize it and not be just crammed in here. Now the final part of the indoor section is this super tiny little bathroom. Fingers crossed they left us a little gift basket in the waste tank, if you know what I'm saying. Can't wait. And then lastly, directly across from that pristine bathroom, we have a little closet where you can keep clothes and stuff. I think I'm just gonna knock that closet out, open up some more space back here. Now, it's time to go to my favorite part of this entire boat, the upper deck. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the top deck. So we have about a 10-foot long, 7-foot wide top deck that we can come out on, fish off of, maybe even duck hunt off of it one day. I know for a fact this is gonna be my favorite spot on the entire boat. So, welcome to my new boat. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to this point of the video. If you have, I owe you a huge thank you, because as weird as it sounds, a goofy travel houseboat has been a goal and a dream of mine forever. The things that we're gonna be able to do with this boat, I'm telling you, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be epic. Literally, if you're a body of water, the itty bitty might be touching you soon. If you guys have any ideas of what we should do with this boat, how we should restore it, optimize space, make it the most epic survival trailerable houseboat, make sure to comment down below. We got a little bit of rain coming in. I'm gonna wrap this video. I've been keeping this secret forever. Better luck next time, Phil. Not today, son. We got a big project ahead of us. It's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of money. It's gonna be hard, but I am pumped, man. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. How does that even happen? I look like Dr. Seuss drank a little too much one night and tried to write a book. Dang it.